Welcome to Hidden Costs. You have been waiting for months, your heart is racing, and you have 3 web browsers open right now. Your credit card is sitting on the desk, and your thumb is hovering over the refresh button as the clock hits 10. Suddenly, the screen freezes completely, and you find yourself number 30,000 in line, while panic sets in very quickly. When you finally get in, that $90 ticket is gone forever, and in its place is a platinum seat for $450. As you click buy in pure panic, they hit you with the service fee, the facility fee, and the processing fee all at once. By the time you hit confirm, you do not feel excited anymore. You feel completely violated by a precision-engineered psychological trap. This was not an accident or a glitch. It was the dark side of live music, a machine that destroyed our concert experiences and drained our wallets. Let us go back to the beginning, in 1976, when 2 college students in Arizona had a simple dream: to make buying tickets easier using computers. It was a simple, efficient, and truly classic American business success story, until the 1990s, when the dream turned into a massive gatekeeper. In 1994, the rock band Pearl Jam did something unthinkable by trying to fight the giant ticket monopoly system to protect their fans. They saw the hidden fees and the unfair monopoly, warning us that live music would eventually become a luxury for the top 1%. The government investigated the issue and then simply walked away from the problem, leaving fans entirely at corporate mercy. In 2010, the government allowed the unthinkable to happen. The ticket giant merged with a massive live event promoter. Imagine if the company that owns the stadiums also managed the artists and promoted all the major national music concert tours. Imagine they also owned the only website where you could buy the tickets. That is an ecosystem with absolutely no exit. Today, they control over 80% of major entertainment venues in the country, creating a vertical integration that stifles all competition. From a financial perspective, this is a textbook monopsony, where a single buyer or controller dominates the labor of artists and the wallets of fans. Why does it hurt so much every time you buy? Because this system has weaponized behavioral economics against regular music fans. First, they use drip pricing, by showing you a low price early to get your dopamine levels up and running fast. You spend an hour waiting inside a digital room, and by the time the real price appears, your brain is stuck in a sunk cost fallacy. You have already invested too much time and emotional energy to back out now, so you click purchase, feeling defeated but desperate. Then there is dynamic pricing, which they call a market-based system, but we call an algorithm-driven corporate greed machine. Recently, fans watched prices jump from $100 to over $300 while they were actually waiting in the queue. This pricing model exploits price elasticity, knowing that a die-hard fan will pay almost any amount once they are emotionally committed. The biggest lie of all is the sold-out sign flashing on your screen, which creates artificial scarcity to drive you towards secondary markets. The government alleges they hold back tickets to push you toward their own resale platforms, where they collect a second fee on everything sold. They are not just selling you access to your favorite music, they are harvesting your fear of missing out for maximum quarterly profit. Let us look at the real hidden cost through the lens of social inequality. In 2022, the corporate chief executive took home $139 million. Meanwhile, the median worker at his company made only $25,000, a staggering ratio of 5,400 to 1. Ticket prices have outpaced inflation by nearly 3 times over the last 25 years. But where exactly does that money go? Is that money going to the local drummer, the lighting technician, or the small independent venue in your beloved local hometown? No, it is not. Local music scenes are dying out because small venues are being priced out by exclusive corporate contracts. When live music becomes something only the wealthy can afford, the culture stops evolving and it begins to stagnate. We lose the next great rock band because the kids who would have started it couldn't afford the concert tickets to see their idols.
The inspiration is killed by a digital toll booth demanding payment, creating a barrier to entry that is purely financial rather than artistic. Every pixel on their website is designed to manipulate, with countdown timers flashing in red to trigger a primal panic response. You are no longer a rational consumer making a choice. You are a desperate fan fighting for a limited digital resource. This artificial urgency forces you to ignore the massive hidden fees because you just want to secure the ticket before time expires. They actually profit from the scalpers because when a ticket is resold on their official platform, they collect another round of fees. Some investigations even suggest they provide special software to professional scalpers, allowing them to buy massive blocks of tickets instantly. This means the game is rigged from the very first second, and the average fan never truly had a fair fighting chance. Many fans blame the musicians for high prices, but the truth is that most artists are trapped in this same exploitive ecosystem. If a band wants to tour nationally, they often have no choice but to use venues owned or controlled by this single giant corporation. They cannot negotiate better terms because there is no alternative competitor in the market with similar reach. Even the merchandise sales are heavily taxed, with venues often taking a 30% cut of every t-shirt sold tonight. This forces bands to raise their prices just to survive on the road, while the fans end up paying for the corporate overhead. We are witnessing the gentrification of live music, where the audience is strictly filtered by wealth rather than by passion.
The front rows are no longer filled with the most dedicated fans. They are filled with those who have the highest disposable income. This changes the entire energy of a performance, as the raw, rebellious spirit of music is replaced by a sterile corporate atmosphere. Independent promoters are being squeezed out of business because they cannot compete with the massive financial leverage of a global monopoly. When independent voices are silenced, the music industry becomes a risk-averse factory producing safe and predictable pop culture products. But monopolies are like giant icebergs that look permanent until the heat of public and legal pressure gets too high. The trial of the century has begun as the Justice Department and 40 states are finally trying to break this monopoly apart. They're arguing that the massive corporate marriage was a terrible mistake that completely broke the live music industry for everyone. Artists are finally starting to push back, showing that loud backlash from fans and creators can actually make the giant machine flinch. The hidden cost of modern life is that we have been trained to accept being squeezed for every single last penny as a norm. We must reject the lie that this is just how the world works, because live music is a fundamental human right and a source of unity. It is the last place where we all stand together and feel the same emotion at the exact same time without a screen between us. Do not let an algorithm put a price tag on your soul or dictate which art is allowed to reach your ears. Watch the legal trial closely and support your local independent venues by buying tickets and merchandise directly from the source. The digital checkout screen was just the beginning of this battle, and now it is time to take our music culture back. Imagine a future where music is accessible to everyone again, and where passion matters much more than your bank account balance. This struggle is about more than just tickets. It is about the right to gather and share in the human experience without exploitation. We are seeing the rise of direct-to-fan models and blockchain ticketing that aim to eliminate the middleman entirely. These technologies could ensure the tickets go to real human beings at fair prices, effectively killing the scalping industry. However, technology alone won't fix a broken market. We need strong antitrust enforcement to ensure a level playing field. Think about your most cherished concert memory and how it shaped who you are today as a person. That feeling is pure magic, a moment of transcendence that the corporate machine wants to commodify for its own gain. We must demand better from our lawmakers and protect the independent spirit that makes music worth listening to in the first place. Every dollar spent outside the monopoly is a tiny act of rebellion that helps starve the beast and feed the artist.
The history of the music business shows that greedy gatekeepers eventually lose their grip when the people stand up together. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden costs of the live music industry and the systems of control. If you found this investigation eye-opening, please share it and subscribe to help us keep exposing these secret mechanisms. Until next time, keep supporting independent art and never stop questioning the systems that govern your life. Goodbye for now.